more on the migrant crisis. Joining me in the studio is GB News' Home and Security Editor, Mark White. Mark, what is the latest?
Well, National Crime Agency confirming to us that there has been a very significant upturn in the number of Albanians coming to the UK illegitimately, illegally, to work either in the grey economy, which is illegally working in the likes of construction, car washes and the other industries, or indeed actually working for criminal gangs in the UK. It has increased very significantly, they say, and the reason that many are actually coming in to work in the criminal sector, to work for organised criminal gangs, is that they can make more than even working in the grey economy. If you're from northern Albania, in the villages of northern Albania, you're earning very, very little. If you come here and work for a construction firm, illegally of course, but still working not as a criminal in that sense, you can earn between £50 and £100 a day. If you work for an organised criminal gang running a cannabis farm, then we're told that you can earn £10,000 over a 10-week period. What the National Crime Agency are also telling us is that many of those Albanians who are being arrested by police when they raid these cannabis farms, they are effectively cannabis farmers that are looking after tending to the crops in that house. Most of them are using modern slavery laws. According to the National Crime Agency, they say it is a blatant manipulation of our national referral mechanism. So that is the referral mechanism for those who claim to be a victim of trafficking in modern slavery. Then they are, of course, treated as a victim rather than as a criminal suspect. Well, they are told, according to the National Crime Agency, many of them, by the gangs back in Albania, that this is the tactic, this is what they should use if they are caught in these cannabis farms, to then enter the system, effectively the asylum system, as a victim of trafficking.
So is it, in a sense, telling us, but rubber stamping, what we already knew, which is that there is a significant rise in Albanians coming here illegally?
A very significant rise, and we know that, of course, at the weekend there were hundreds of Albanians who took to the streets of London to say that we're demonising countrymen and women from Albania by suggesting that all Albanians in the UK are criminals. Well, no one is saying that, but we are, according to official sources now on the record, the National Crime Agency, saying that many thousands of Albanians who've come across in the knowledge that they are entering the illegal economy, either to work in the grey economy or to work for criminal gangs, and that the movement of these people is actually being orchestrated and coordinated by these criminal gangs. On the other side of the channel, they are working in cahoots with the Iraqi Kurdish gangmasters in Calais and Dunkirk to get these people across. And again, we understand that those who are picked up in the small boats and taken ashore, who are also claiming to be victims of trafficking, that they have been hoodwinked somehow by the criminal gangs. It's the belief of the authorities that the vast majority of these people absolutely knew what they were coming to do.
Well, Rishi Sunak has been saying very adamantly at the G20 that his main priority, along with the economy, of course, is to sort out illegal immigration. He wouldn't be drawn on the numbers of legal immigration. He was quite clear, really, that illegal immigration is his priority. When it comes to getting those numbers down, just struck a 63 million quid deal with the French, more patrols, 40% supposedly more patrols, aiming to get the number of those boats down. You spent all day yesterday outside a migrant hotel, an asylum seeker hotel in Maidenhead, didn't you? One of many now popping up and down the country. And this is something that's not going away anytime soon. We indeed heard reports earlier on, these have been denied by the Home Office, but the wording of that was quite clever in the way that they did it, which is that potentially some foreign trainee nurses who were being put up at a hotel in Yorkshire, potentially booted out to make room for the asylum seekers. What, if anything, can be done when it comes to reducing the amount of hotels being used? Because we just haven't got the room, have we, at the moment?
No, and the more they come, the more pressure there is on the hotel system. And we know, of course, that over a 3-day period, up until yesterday, and including yesterday, 2,225 people came across the English Channel in small boats. A very significant proportion of them will have been from Albania. Now, a lot of those people, once they're processed, will enter the hotel sector. They'll be put up in the likes of the hotel in Maidenhead and, of course, in other hotels right across the country. One thing the government wants to look at is actually housing them in larger centres, in, for instance, former military bases. Butlins, former Butlins accommodation has been spoken about. But that has its difficulties as well, because remember, just a few months back, Priti Patel wanted to house 2,000 young men in a former RAF base in Linton-on-Ouse in Yorkshire. Well, the villagers there, quite understandably, were up in arms because there would have been many more young asylum seekers in their village than actually the population of that village. They fought a campaign that eventually resulted in the government changing its mind. Well, it says it's still wedded to a policy of trying to find these bigger centres, but they're going to come up against local communities not wanting thousands of young men in these accommodation centres.